If you're new to wedding photography or you are shooting weddings, but you want to shoot maybe a different type of weddings, so different venues, different locations, different vibe, the one thing you need is the right portfolio. And here's the important part, not just a portfolio, but a portfolio that matches your strategy and goal in terms of what you want to shoot. The whole point of having portfolio is not just to showcase that you can take great wedding photos, but to prove to the couple that finds you that you can shoot their wedding. So if their wedding is in Santorini and your portfolio is all Moody, Scotland, the chances they book you are rather low. And I know that from my own experience because I've been shooting destination weddings all around the world for over 14 years. And while I do have a massive destination portfolio, my portfolio still only attracts a certain type of clients. And that's very important to understand. It does repel other types of clients. If you look at my whole branding and my portfolio, it's pretty clear that I have a very low chance of getting booked for these luxurious destination weddings that you see being massively popular these days. But then adventure destination elopements, intimate weddings on cliffs in Ireland, or weddings under a waterfall, 100% my vibe. So how do you build a portfolio to be able to shoot what you want and to be able to shoot in general if you're starting out? I'll present you two ways you can achieve it. This is going to be a small piece of my full Book Awesome Weddings course that is available for my It's a Kind of Magic Academy members. You can check it out in the description. And the first way to build a portfolio is very simple. You organize a couple photo shoots. Level 1 is you do it for free by asking friends or strangers to pose for you in exchange for photos. Or maybe you buy them a pizza, or I don't know, maybe you have friends that just got married. You can ask them to jump in their wedding outfits and take photos of them in some places that you want. And that's important. You don't just go and shoot, you make it with intention. So you plan it, you scout locations, you choose the style and vibe of what you're going after, of what you want to book later on. So if this is like, let's say, elegant city weddings that you want to go after, that's what you go for with the shoot. If you're after more relaxed, outdoor, I don't know, boho vibes, that's what you're planning. So you're executing a plan with intention in order for your portfolio to match the wedding style you want to photograph. And then you just shoot the shit out of it. And when you do it, you're not only taking photos, but you're also planning to create a marketing materials around it. So maybe have someone following you with a phone so you can create some behind the scenes content. Plan reels beforehand around this. Use this as your marketing opportunity. Next option, so like maybe the same option, but level 2 would be strategic giveaways. So you're not just organizing shoots for friends, you're doing something like win a free couple shoot. That could not only get you couples to shoot so you can create a portfolio, but also boost your social media, get people's eyes on your work. And if you want to spend some money on it, you can run an ad with a giveaway of a photo shoot. And that is something that is highly effective. I personally did that at the very beginning of my wedding photography career. So back in 2011, I started a Facebook fan page. I ran a giveaway and I ended up shooting an engagement session for 2 couples. Later on, I shot weddings for both of these couples and then the friends of these couples and so on and so on. And that's how this whole snowball effect happened for me. But the same important factor is valid here. Just like before, make it strategic. So if you want to book local weddings, running ads for an engagement session giveaway in your hometown does make sense. But if you're after a specific look or a bridal shoot, so in wedding outfits, you need to make it very clear in your giveaway. And since you're giving away this for free, you make the rules about where and when you shoot. Next level, so level 3 of organizing wedding shoots would involve investing some money. Here, I'm thinking either organizing a full-blown style shoot, so maybe hiring or collaborating with a planner, maybe renting a venue, a nice venue that you want to shoot at, or maybe traveling somewhere epic if you're after something more destination focused. And that's a reason I call it investing money, not spending money. because there's a very high chance that this will bring you not only more work, but also connections. So if you hire a planner or collaborate with a planner, you get to work together with a planner, and that's how you might end up getting weddings from that planner. The same goes for the venue. I personally organized a massive style shoot during COVID, right when I started this YouTube channel. That shoot ended up bringing me a lot of work. So I pitched the idea to one of the local planners that I knew. Also, I needed to test some lenses, and I think it was a Sony 50mm f1.2 G Master when it came out. And I'll be very transparent about this. At this point, I was a Sony ambassador, and I could pitch this idea to Sony as well. So I ended up not paying with my own money, but with Sony's money for the style shoot, which was cool for me. But the mechanism is the same, because I told my planner, go for everything you always wanted to do in terms of a style and a vibe, so the images not only look spectacular, but trendy. Okay, so we can both use them as our marketing tool. And that's what we did. It was an epic photo shoot, and these photos booked me weddings in both this venue, but also got me weddings through that planner. So it 100% worked. So those are like kind of 3 levels of organizing photo shoots. And I know these are photo shoots, couple shoots, style shoots, not full weddings. It's just the portraits part. Maybe you can add details part and getting ready part, but that's not a full wedding. It's more like adventurous elopement style, but it's a start, because first of all, you do gain experience when you do this. When you're starting out and you're doing these shoots, you learn how to shoot couples, pose couples, work with couples, which then helps you to do it on a wedding day with time constraints. Second of all, you get to showcase what you want to shoot. There's no other way around it. You need to show what you want to shoot in order to book it. And in my personal case, it almost always brought me weddings, in line with what I showcased. Option number 2, how to get a portfolio, is attending workshops. And that's something that I did as well at the very beginning of my destination career. I attended a whole bunch of different workshops, mostly focusing on destinations that I myself didn't get to shoot. So being based in Poland, most of my local weddings here back in the day were very traditional church weddings with very traditional ballroom receptions. With those weddings, there was no way to build a destination portfolio, So I needed to go to places like Italy, Spain, Canary Islands to work on that. And that also does mean we're investing money. Workshops, especially destination workshops, they simply cost money, not only to attend, but also to travel. So it is important to pick the ones that align with your direction and use them in, once again, a very strategic way. So do not just collect random photos over other people's shoulders, but think about what you want to get from this. Like this picture right here that you're looking at right now from one of my first workshops. I think it's a 45mm tilt shift lens that I used here because I was heavily into tilt shift, and I still am. So I wanted to come back home with photos that are simply my style, but in places I wouldn't normally get booked to shoot. And because I did that, I know no other photographer from that workshop have the same photo because of how specific I was when I was taking it. But the power of these workshops for me was also going somewhere, meeting other photographers, making connections, and shooting not only the workshop, but everything I could around the workshop. So take a look at these photos. Only 2 of them are actually workshop photos, top left and bottom one in the middle. The rest are photos of either other people from the workshop or people I reached out to before to let them know I'll be going somewhere. So in this case, it's the Barcelona, top right picture. I offer a shoot. So when I came back home from the trip to the workshop, I not only came back with the photos of the workshop couple, but also a bunch of other couples, bunch of other photo shoots. So I could fill the gaps in my portfolio and showcase that. And now, if you're looking for a workshop like this, I do have 3 spots remaining for my own workshop, which I'm hosting in Italy this fall. It's going to be in Rome and Florence. 2 days of shooting in 2 cities with 1 day in between to travel and for masterclasses and quick feedback sessions. So that's going to be October 27th to 29th. And this is my first official announcement here. I only opened this to my Academy members and a newsletter, and it's already almost booked. So I have only 3 spots. Check the link in the description to get one of the remaining ones. The style of this workshop is going to be more elopement style. So we're going to be shooting a sunrise session, midday flash session, and then a sunset session in both Rome and Florence. It's going to be really fun. So this is a perfect opportunity if you are looking to expand your portfolio or just have a nice trip with me. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I do highly recommend watching this one now, where I talk about marketing for wedding photographers.